The finals just got its brand new update, patch 2.8. And of course, detailed yesterday, we do have that new community event. We also have some brand new giveaways that will be happening over on the Discord. We also have that brand new store update and a few new cosmetics. Additionally, we have some fixes for Steam and PC users if you're running into any issues, and a whole bunch more. What's up, world? It's Utopia back in with another video. Today we're checking out all things the final. Okay, so let's just jump right into it. And as always, we do have those two opening statements. Again, the first one being on the Discord, and this is always by Embark Oscar. They went on here to say, in this update, they're focusing on quality of life changes and improvements. For example, they made changes to melee weapons in hopes of improving the way it feels to play with. Of course, again, as I prefaced in the last video that I just made, they're going to need feedback on that, so do disclose that on the Discord if you can, or even on the Reddit. And of course, this is the last week with Terminal Attack, although some players do still want to keep this game mode in. They're doing a huge community event for it. There's been that leaderboard system that I covered in the last video where there is the elimination board. And again, of course, as a community, we will need 7 million player eliminations. This has to be specific to Terminal Attack. As of right now, we are at 15% or just over a million. It has been about a day since then, so it seems like we will be getting this completion overall. At least if we keep on track with a million per day, we should be able to complete this in 7 days. And then of course we will get that reward, which are those pink shoes that I discussed yesterday. This is the last time we'll see any of those pink rewards or the collection of them. But they are going to change up the theme for these community events after this point. Now the patch notes opening statement is fairly similar to the one on Discord. However, they did go over here that they're going to give out prizes on the Discord during the event. I do assume this is going to be merch or t-shirts that they've been giving out with every community event. Again, there is a merch store going up soon. We're still haven't got the details on that, but I will be sharing them with you when we get those updates. Jumping over to the actual patch notes here, we do have the content and bug fixes. We did have some animation fixes, and the more notable one here is the hand gesture animation overriding the mesh shield animation. This resulted in broken character poses, and they also added an intro animation in Terminal Attack to approve the round countdown. This was a big one for audio. Player voice lines will now only play for teammates and not opposing players. So it seems like there was a little bit of jumbledness there with the player voice lines. For gadgets, we did have some major changes here with the anti-gravity cube, where they made the cube itself heavier so it doesn't get pushed as easily when hit by other objects. And they fixed a bug where objects would lift much faster than intended when they were attached together. This also prevents an exploit in which the cube can be carried upwards toward the objects it's lifting, causing entire structures to traverse upwards into the sky endlessly, as I saw a lot of those flying glitches and flying exploits from before. And then Dome Shield had a big issue here where it was not able to be glitched when the center was occluded. So definitely kind of took away from some glitch grenades there and that mechanic overall. For gameplay, we had a big one here. A carryable object has been added to the arena called a glitch barrel. It looks pretty cool, reminiscent of almost like a battery. They had a dev note with it though. They said glitch barrels are carryable objects. Pick them up and throw them to apply the effect in an area. Shoot them to detonate them from afar. Glitch barrels apply the same effect as glitch grenades, removing the target's ability to use their gadgets and specialization. So still pretty cool that we got a brand new object and barrel in the game itself. Again, we'll have to wait and see where that places it on the dematerializer list. We had several other bug fixes here. One more notable one here was they fixed a major issue where players would get stuck in goo when running up to it. The dev note here was that this only fixes the issue outside of moving platforms. You know that goo sometimes behaves strangely on moving platforms, and they're looking into that for a later patch. I do know that's been one of the bigger complaints recently, is a lot of the goo stuff going on. They also improved the visibility of barrels in dark and monochrome areas. Another big one here is they fixed a bug while sliding, or with sliding, where auto sprinting could get players stuck between crouch and sprinting states. And another major one here, they fixed a bug that allowed players to deal damage to their teammates. So for the most part there, that friendly fire has been fixed, it seems. Another big one here is they fixed the interactions such as zipline, pressing elevator buttons, and interacting with revived statues that should be much more responsive, especially on the console and gamepad. Now for the map section here, all maps have had their rooftop reflections improved. That's a really good change there across the board, and I have noticed it a little bit graphically. Sis Horizon tweaked the zipline at the museum entrance so you exit earlier automatically instead of taking it all the way to the ceiling. And then Monaco had some spawns adjusted for the power shift mode. Terminal Attack did get some changes here where they added a distinct sound change on the terminal when there was only 15 seconds left to stop the decryption. Again, to give players further notice on that and be a little bit more responsive with that audio-wise. The icon for the terminal will no longer appear in the center of the screen when decryption starts. And they went on to say here, due to a known issue that could not not be resolved in time, players can only swap weapons and gadgets between rounds and not in spectator mode after elimination. So must have been some bugginess with that there. The UI had a bunch of changes here, with the more notable ones for the ping system. They added some new ping messages like breach here and hold this position. They've moved around some stuff there like hype and danger, but these new ones should add some more social play mechanics. Charge and slam got a big change here, where they can now clear higher obstacles when activated on the ground to reduce instances where players will get stuck on geometry. And the one everyone's been waiting for, the dagger and all melee weapons. So here specifically for the dagger, they improved the backstab validation. The dev note here is they've received a lot of feedback about the backstabs not feeling good. I've covered it several times and saw many forum posts about it. They've hopefully rectified this in this patch. Of course, the only way to tell is to let you try it and then gather the feedback there. And then another major issue here, especially for the console players, is that they fixed the aim assist issue for backstab. It will now synchronize with the swing rather than the trigger at the start of the charge up. So that might have been why you were lunging forward and a player was changing position and the aim assist not aligning there. And again, for all melee weapons, they have improved the hit validation for all of them. There's now a setting for turning melee aim assist on and off in the gameplay section. The aim assist and lunge range are slightly more generous for quick melee. They've also changed the way sprinting gets blocked when attacking with melee weapons and using quick melee, so that the sprint is only blocked through parts of the swing instead of the whole duration of the attack that is tweaked on a weapon to weapon basis. And the sprint toggle no longer gets cancelled by melee attacks, so players don't have to retoggle spam efficiently to chase their target while attacking. That seems like a major one for the sledgehammer and the sword. Riot shield can now be raised more quickly after performing an attack, and the SR-84 is correctly marked as a marksman rifle instead of a melee weapon in the menu. For the security section, they just have updates and improvements and nothing specific there. There is a known issues section here, but it is very short, where all gamepad presets except for modified button equipping will cause players to equip weapons when pressing the interact and equip button. That is actually not intended. This will be resolved in the next patch, but until then, please go into the controller settings and fix it by clearing the weapon bind. Of course, I said sorry for the inconvenience there. Now, if you're on PC, players have been running into some issues with crashing. They have made a few updates, including just right now. They've gone back and forth here on this fix, trying to get this working and the kinks out. However, they do offer a slight and small fix here that might be potentially the solution. Where you head into Steam, you go to Library, right-click on the files, go to Property, Installed Files, and click on Verify Integrity of Game Files. This does help with a lot of issues that I've had with other games. However, again, this might not be necessarily the solution for now. Oscar does keep updating the game announcements page with this. They, of course, have said the previous change has seemed to help some of you, but they're still solving the issue for everyone. Again, they want to offer that solution if you are currently crashing. Some last-minute mentionables here is a lot of players want more faces and hair. We do keep getting new cosmetics, but I've even seen in the recent store video that people just want more faces and hair, and I definitely agree with that. They should be adding some more there. And hopefully that additional contestant slot that players have really wanted, but again, we are getting that with Season 3. And again, yeah, we have another Reddit post here asking for some new facial hair, new faces, and hair just in general, which I do think allowing players to have a little bit more customization there will definitely help with that. Again, I'll try to keep you guys updated on the crash stuff. Let me know if you guys are still experiencing that. Hopefully we can kind of diagnose that stuff. But overall, that should about cover for today's video. If you like, subscribe, and until the next one, deuces.